Thanks very much for being here. There are 514 cases of coronavirus, all locally acquired. That means we now have 4,370 active cases across Victoria. 148 of today's cases are linked to known outbreaks, and the balance are obviously under investigation by our public health team. There are 3 new cases in Ballarat, taking the total active cases there to 6. With more expected in coming days. So that, I think, just confirms that there was and remains a significant challenge in Ballarat. Can I thank all of those in Ballarat who've come forward and got tested? Can I thank all the community of Ballarat who I know are doing it tough. No one wants to go back into a lockdown, but that was the advice, and if we stick together and look out for each other, as we are doing and as we'll continue to do, then the Ballarat community will get through this, just as the Shepparton community have got through it now a couple of times. Many parts of our state have had to deal with these challenges, and I'm very confident that the people of Ballarat, proud city that it is, will, with proper support, will get to the other side of this. I'll come back to some of the support we're providing, and Jerome indeed can speak to some of the other details, not just of new cases, but also some of the other testing activity and other supports that we're providing to the Ballarat community. There are 182 people who are in hospital with COVID-19. 51 of those are in ICU and 29 are on a ventilator. Of the cases who were in hospital yesterday, just to draw a line, so yesterday's hospitalisations, 87% of those were not vaccinated, 12% were partially vaccinated, and just 1 person was fully vaccinated. In terms of tests and vaccines, if I can just run through some of those numbers, 61,961 test results received overnight. That's a really strong number, and I thank each of those people for coming forward and getting tested. We're getting results back to people. Almost everybody gets their result the following day, and that's a tribute to our technicians working in laboratories and also all the people who are taking those swabs, and of course to the many tens of thousands of Victorians who are coming forward and getting tested. Thank you so much for doing that. It helps us to limit case numbers and therefore limit the number of people that find their way into hospital because of this Delta variant. There were 41,758 jabs administered yesterday, so just shy of the day before. So I think it's now our second highest day ever, so a really, really significant day, another day of almost 42,000 jabs. That's in state hubs. Of course, there will have been other vaccinations administered in other parts of the system, but our state hubs, nearly 42,000, that is a really significant number. And again, I thank all those people who are working in those hubs, and of course those who've booked appointments and who are turning up and playing their part in our race to 80% double dosed. In conjunction with our GPs and pharmacy, we are doing more first doses than any other state or territory across our country. And that is, it just speaks to this notion of there's not hesitancy out there. People are very keen to get vaccinated because I think the vast, vast majority of Victorians know that's how we keep each other safe, and it's how we get the place open, and it's how we get back to normal. There are appointments available today as I stand here right now. AstraZeneca and Pfizer appointments, please go online and book one, and then turn up, get your jab, then a second dose, and be absolutely at the centre of us opening up and keeping people safe and well. 69.2% of Victorians aged between 16 and over, they have been first dosed. That is to say, 69.2% of Victorians have received a first dose of the eligible cohort. That means that tonight and into tomorrow, we will tip over that 70% first dose mark, that gateway. That's incredibly important. And of course, we're going to keep going to get to 70% double dosed and indeed 80% and above double dosed over the journey. The fact of the matter is that somewhere across the state today, someone will get that first dose, and they will tip us over that 70% mark. That's fantastic. We've asked people to come forward and get vaccinated. We had a target of 1 million doses over 5 weeks. We've beat that. We've reached that target and in fact exceeded it and done it early. And we also said to people, look, we want to get to 70% as fast as we can first dose, so we can make some modest but significant announcements, and throughout the course of today we will tip over that 70% first dose mark. That's a great achievement, and I thank every single Victorian who's been part of that.